I was thinking about it, and I've realized that Instagram and really all social media companies have the perfect business model. I mean, if you're in the business of production and you want to have a good business, by that I mean you want to have high profitability, um, you need to have low operating costs, you need to have demand marketability, and you ideally want to have a large market share as well so you can maximize your profits. And apps like Instagram check all three of those boxes, and they also do them in ways that historically you couldn't do with other business models. I mean, like if you're going back, let's take the Industrial Revolution. You're working in a factory as an example. If you're running a factory, a textile factory, you know, you have to pay your workers wages. You have to compensate them for the commodity they're producing. You don't have to pay them great wages. You can pay them a minimum wage, but you still do have to compensate them in some form, or else there's no incentive for them to come and work for you in the first place. So you have to have some level of operating costs for your labor costs. That's not really the case with social media, because the majority of the content that's produced is produced by just people like me, who are not getting compensated for the commodities that they're making. We essentially, as a society, make this content, make commodities for corporations for free. Actually, less than free, because we're giving up some of our time where we could have been working, doing something else for money. We're giving up that time to companies to make something for them that they can sell. So you really have almost a negative operating cost at that point, because you don't have to spend any money as a business for you to have the commodities to sell. And even if you're on Instagram and you're not, making content, I know some people who have it and they scroll and they, send text messages or whatever on it. Even if you're just doing that, you're creating a second commodity, and that's the data. Everything you do on those apps is very much logged and sold to other corporations, to the government, maybe other governments. So it's a very, very good business model in terms of your operating costs, because all of this content is being manufactured by us for less than nothing, and you can turn all of that around and sell it to other people. And we're socially compelled as well to be doing that. I mean, everybody I know is on these apps, most of them anyways, and most of them are creating stuff, and even if they're not, they're involuntarily giving up another commodity in the form of data. So it's just and then you want to talk about marketability. I mean, they have, obviously there's a massive demand, and a lot of that is because these apps are manufactured also to be, very highly addictive. So even if people don't necessarily enjoy using them all the time or want to be on it as much as they are compelled to. I mean, I'm like this. I'm not like an Instagram big tech advocate, I would say, but I'm on those apps. I'm on them all the time, and so are millions and millions of other people. So there's always going to be a demand as long as they're allowed to remain that addicting. And I mean, you talk about market share too. A lot of these companies are just too big to ever get replaced, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think that you could, as like a small startup, take down Instagram, Meta, TikTok, Snap, like the whole complex. They're so rooted in our internet culture at this point. I don't see there's any way that those could fail. It would take something drastic. So yeah, I mean, I think it's the perfect business model for all of those reasons. I mean, obviously there's some small caveats. They do pay like certain content creators who have large followships, but I mean, the majority is produced by the majority. If you could think of a better business model, or you just have a comment or an idea, I would love to hear about it. Thank you for listening to my spiel today.